Welcome to selfdiscoverywisdom.com, formerly known as Self-Discovery Media. On these podcasts, you're going to hear people who speak from the heart. They've taken the journey in life. Many things have happened to them, but they've changed it to happening for them. And in their strength, their courage, they've discovered their abilities and their wisdom, and they are now sharing it here with you. Do enjoy each show. We bring it to you with love and knowing that it's going to help you on your journey of life. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Ignite Your Heart and Soul right here on selfdiscoverywisdom.com. My wonderful repeat guest, this is our fifth show. We're going to be talking about her mentorship today and all that she offers you. This is the beautiful Dr. Enolia Harris Pedro. And she says, dream a beautiful dream, or it will be dreamt. Or you will be dreamt. And that is the thing. We have these dreams and we don't follow through on them because we think they're not for us, and they are for us. So we're going to be talking about her work and all that she does, because she does so much. Beautiful soul and written so many books, but we're also going to be talking about her wonderful new platform called Wombology Radio, where you can come in and listen to some divine people who are specialized in their field, and they're going to be interviewing people or just talking about their particular subject. And it's like the old-fashioned radio. You hear them on Wednesday or Tuesday or this or that. There'll be backups if you miss it on that day, but it's all about having people on one platform so that they can really be heard and you know where you need to go. She said the womb is a place not for fear or pain, but it's a place to give birth to new life. And Wombology envisions a world where women's voices are amplified across cultures, disciplines, industries, guiding the evolution of society through leadership, wisdom, and innovation. We strive to keep a global platform where women of all backgrounds come together to share knowledge, challenge paradigms, and inspire change. And change is something we definitely need to have, and we're most certainly in the process of, isn't it, love?
It absolutely is. It's wonderful to be here, Sarah. Thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure to always be with you.
Oh, it's so much. I mean, if you go back to the show we did last week, which you'll be able to find all of her shows on selfdiscoverywisdom.com, put in Dr. Enolia, which is Enolia, and all of her shows will come up. But you also go to the mentorship program on the orchardofwisdom.org, O-R-G, and under mentors, you'll find everything that she does and all of the shows that she's done with us. And there are so many, there's so much wisdom in this woman, but passion and conviction and the desire to have as many voices in a chorus as possible, because that's what elevates us. And this is what that beautiful radio station that we are going to be a part of, folks, here on Self-Discovery Wisdom. This is what this is about, isn't it? Bringing the chorus together.
Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. And the whole thing is that we need to amplify our voices. We need to take the time to let people hear what we have to say. What we say is important, and it's needed more now than it's ever been needed. So, in having the platform, so it's Wombology, and Wombology is the platform for women's voices to reign, and it sits on top of Zeno FM, or excuse me, Fave Unite Radio. And Fave Unite Radio is what you're going to plug into to hear all of the various different women across the world
Mm,
leading the conversations. And just because we lead doesn't mean that we have to exclude. So the
yes.
conversations are led by us, or shared by us, or discussed by us, so that everyone has the opportunity to hear our thought processes, our means of how we think as women leading the discussion. And that discussion is what had with other men or other women, whatever the particular
Mhm.
guests are, for the particular host that is hosting, including myself and including you.
Yes, and delighted to be a part of it. I mean, we've long ago when we met, we knew that, we're part of the same sisterhood, and this
Yeah.
is what it's about. Now it is about sisters coming together. Last week you were on his sisterhood of common sense, love, and all the men that love and support them genre, and it is this right now. It is us coming together with a common sense, rational soul wisdom to bring about an equilibrium, to show people the solutions that are needed in order for us to elevate to a higher consciousness right now. And it needs to be done from a place of heart and spirit and soul and shared in order to ignite the heart and souls of everybody. This is so utterly important at this. It's always been important, but particularly now.
You're exactly right, and that's what we need. There are times that we feel like we're happy, but there are times that we feel like we're storming. And
Mm,
what do you choose to be during the storm? And so, to me, Wombology is the ability to take voices and let them be the lighthouse and let them be the beacons in the midst of the storm.
yeah,
And then, whoever's voice resonates for you, come out of the storm.
yeah,
Listen to the voice, align with the voice, let that voice move you, let it inspire you, and then let it shift you. We all
yes.
have so much to give as practitioners, as hosts of the various things that we do. And this is a means to allow those voices to reign so that others can hear them. And we overlap, we support one another, we share a common thread, which is our voice, and the power of our voice is important at this time.
We are being invited right now to rise up to this higher consciousness, to bring about an equilibrium, not just for the planet, for the universe, for our own very souls. Where so much turmoil, and there's always a shake up before there is a wake up,
Yeah.
right? And so many people are being shaken up right now, and they really literally feel that the Hulk has got them by the feet and just going wackaroo like it did with Loki in Avengers, and
Yes.
for some people it's like, I just don't know, there's just so much going on, and we ask them to be still and feel themselves from the inside out, but very often it's like, I don't know how to do that. And this is why it's important to listen to the kind of people you have on your network, because these are people that were where you are now. They've gone through their own turmoil. They've gone through their own struggles. They have found something that worked for them. And now they wish to share that wisdom out so that you can apply it. And my motto is listen, learn, and apply. Well, when you listen and you learn, there's always something you can apply that's going to make your life better. But this is what it's about. They're the teachers, they're the guiders, they're the gurus, they're the shamans, but they're ordinary people who have embraced their extraordinariness.
Exactly, and we are all gifted.
Yes.
So come, and what is it that appeals to you? Do you want to work on the wellness? Do you want to talk to someone who is very aligned with yoga and understands the teachings? Do you want to speak with someone who just does a worldview like myself, infinite possibilities, like yourself with the metaphysics and the alignment and the consciousness and the conscious transformation type work? So, it's really important to know that there are many roads to the one.
Yeah.
It doesn't make one road wrong and the other road right. It just makes it different. But
Yes.
we're all achieving the same thing. And how we get there is of our own accord. It's okay to have a different journey than
Hmm.
my sister, but still, yet, we're all going to the one. One
Yes.
consciousness, one consideration in terms of the way that we just embrace that which we are. We embrace creator, we embrace it's many roads to the one. So
It's
I
kind of
always
like the
say,
universal Woodstock.
yes.
Peace, man, peace. Whatever path gets you there. But this is all about peace and harmony, enlightenment and uplifting. And many roads might lead you to that one place.
That's right. That's right. So that's the beauty of what Wombology brings. That's the beauty of what it is. And then, what we have to say is important. And just hearing that story at the right time, at the right moment,
Yeah,
with the right person, sometimes can change the course of your whole life.
guaranteed. Guaranteed. Absolutely. Every single one of us that, of course, changed. It was that kind of person you met on a park bench, a podcast you listened, a TED talk, or something that somebody said something to you, and it wouldn't have made sense to you at all a month or a year before. But suddenly you're in
Yeah,
the right place at the right time to hear it, and it wakes you up and it shows you a way forward. And, both of us, that's what we're doing. We're giving you the wisdom for you to apply. How you use it, in which way you use it, what it ignites in you is your journey. But what we're
exactly.
doing is just opening the doors to an enormous library Of
An
heart and soul and
enormous
spirit.
library. And
Yes.
I'll share with that too, because we embrace women across the world, you can listen to some podcasts and learn about those who are in New Zealand,
Yeah.
learn about those who are in Kenya, in Africa, and the various different cultures of the world also. So, I love the fact that the women come from across the world. The conversations are being had
Hmm.
across the world, and you can go to one stop,
Yeah.
one place to listen to conversations across the world, to listen to music across the world. That's the beauty of it.
Yes.
So yes, yes,
Yeah, so it kind of feels a little like Woodstock because you've got your station, I've got my station, we've all got performers, but
yes,
we're putting it under this one umbrella, of soul enlightenment, and you may listen to one, that's not my kind of music, or that's not my kind of vibe, and then there is another one that your soul can't stop grooving to. So,
exactly.
it is that, and there is never one size that fits all, and that's the beauty of it. It's a feast. It's
Yeah,
an absolute feast. Come and partake, flavor, devour. You're not going to eat everything, right?
yeah.
You're going to sample the things that lift you up, and maybe next time sample something else. And that's the whole beauty of it. It's an ongoing feast.
Exactly. Exactly. So we ask you to come and feast on the on that which has been provided.
Yeah.
You know, take your nourishment,
Hmm.
enjoy, energize, be inspired, be motivated, and listen and open your heart and expand.
So for people who just want to come and listen, right, we're going to talk about people who would like to participate, but for people who just want to listen, the best place for them to go to would actually go to the website and then go to where it says radio, right? So I'm going to give
Correct.
that link now. Um, and then a link for when people want to maybe be a part of it. So it's Wombology, WOMBOLOGY.world. And you can just go to the radio tag and it will take you directly to who's playing right now, because it is like an old-fashioned radio, folks.
Mhm.
For many of them, there will be the past shows you can listen to if you don't catch it on the day, but each day there'll be different people playing. So you are listening in the now, in the present, each
Right.
hour, what somebody has for you, and there'll be
And
music in
then I
between
also
when there isn't a show.
Right. If there isn't a show, then we are playing music in between, but please do not be thrown off. There are
Mhm.
shows playing. And actually, starting August 1st, we're going to group the shows so that you can get multiple shows in one person show. So if it's Tuesday mornings and Sarah's playing, then you're going to be able to hear 4 or 5 shows from Sarah, and then you'll hear music after the fact. So I'm loving it. I'm really excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That is
And of
going to
course,
be fun.
this is unusual. Not everybody is going to do 4 or 5 shows at once. Most people are doing one, but of course, I'm a network, so I have those many shows a week. So they're going to be going over there, as well as this platform is on our platform as well, because that's what it's about, folks.
Yes,
Supporting each other. There's no competitive or compare here. It's
yes.
all about collab. Now, this is for the people who want to go and listen to the wisdom and be inspired by it. And you interviewed me a few weeks ago on yours, and then I had 2 people from your platform that reached out to interview me. One that
Yes,
already has, and another one coming up. And that's also what it's about, cross-pollinating, right?
absolutely.
But if you feel that you have taken this journey, your soul and heart and spirit has been ignited, you found something that you like to do. Maybe you're into crystals or Reiki, or maybe you're into numerology. Maybe you're into something that you have found that it has become your soul feeder, your heart lifter, your spirit direction, and you would like to be a part of this. I don't do hosts anymore. I used to. You've taken that role. Thank you. so, but if you feel that you are a person that, yeah, I am ready to share this, whether it's just me sharing the wisdom every week or whether it's I'm going to interview people on the subject, um, this is the journey they can now take with you. Can you tell people how they do that?
Yes, if you go to wombology.world, which is the website, and you go under radio, you'll see 2 ways that you could potentially engage. One will say become a radio host. And then what that does is that allows you to initiate the process and then be interviewed and then go through the iterations of becoming a radio show host. If you wanted to be a host or if you just wanted a talk show. So it
Hmm.
caveats two things. The other thing that we do accept is, let's say you don't want to do or be a radio show host or a talk show host, then what you can actually do is you can just submit a monologue. So
Hmm.
below that is just where you can just submit a monologue, a one-time shot. Maybe it's a TED talk that you felt you
Hmm.
did really, really great on and you wanted it amplified, or maybe you had a moment where you talked to an audience and it was like, that was it,
Hmm.
that was the one, and everyone should hear this. Oh my goodness.
Yes, yes.
So you can submit a monologue. So you sign up and you give us your information, and then we talk about just playing that particular monologue throughout the time for a few months, also on the radio. So we're
Wonderful.
excited. We're excited. And we invite those who are interested and want to be there.
Now, is this just a radio, or do you also have it where people can watch video, or is it a combination of both?
No, it's just radio. So it's the audio piece of
Hmm.
this that we are amplifying the stories on. But I encourage everyone, if you are one of those people who you're doing the shows and you really want it to be amplified, you can also, establish yourself on Spotify too,
Mm,
and
yes.
just do a combination of both, because the more the merrier, right? The
Yeah,
more that you're
exactly.
present, the more that your voice can be amplified. And then
And
it's a
not
cross
everybody
pollination
wants
of
to be on
ideas.
YouTube. And the beautiful thing about Spotify is you can have your video and audio up there at the same time, and it's one-stop
Exactly.
shopping for people. So, and it's a good platform to be on, so you can listen to some of the people's archives up there, like mine.
Yeah.
So if you don't catch it on the day that we're assigned, there will be a link where you can go and listen to past shows. And this is the beauty of it. Yes, somebody's done a talk and we got filmed, and you feel, but now what do I do with it? The
Exactly.
audience loved it. I felt like, like this was the message I was meant to give. What do I do with it now? And we never want to waste good wisdom. Never.
Yeah.
We
Yes,
want to share it. So
we
this is
do.
the fact that people can submit that monologue is absolutely fabulous, because it may be the only time they do it, or maybe they do a few of them. But yes, you're allowing other people the inspiration is keeping on going.
Yes, and then the fact that I am teamed up with Fave Unite Radio. Also, Fave Unite is an OTT, over the top, or what I think that's what it is, OTT streaming. I'm not a media person. That's not my bailiwick.
Right.
But if you want to amplify your voice more and whatnot, you can always meet our partner, which is Fave Unite Radio,
Mm,
and they can talk to you about Fave Unite TV. Also,
mm,
they
right.
welcome everyone to it. They amplify the African diaspora voices, but they accept everyone. So it is
Right.
not just a single source kind of content. So if you want to be on TV, also there's Favor Night TV. So, and then that
Exactly.
would be directly with our partner, but we open
Yeah.
the doors for everyone. It's a beautiful thing.
So they can MP3 with you, that's the audio, and they can MP4
And
with
before with
them,
them,
the video, and then you're covering
exactly.
both bases, and then you've got the archive on Spotify. Hallelujah, right? So, and that's the beauty of it. And
Yeah.
we're going to also now be, talking about the other work you do, because this is about your mentor show and all that you do with that. But just to remind you folks, what the link is: WOMBOLOGY.world, and you just click on the radio and all the information is there. And if you want to sign up, or you just want a conversation and go, where do I go for this? I don't know. Can I not do it? Enola will help you do that. And of course, there is also the Facebook, and the Instagram and the YouTubes and all of those, which we will give away in a moment. But I also want to talk about all the other work that you do as well, because you are a grandmother, yay, yay. You're an elder, a doctor, a modern day medicine woman in energy medicine, practicing in Africa. With decades of experience, you use holistic approach to guide individuals towards balanced health, integrating ancient traditions into modern wellness practices. You offer classes, retreats, and tours on healing, self-mastery, dynamic meditations, and conscious mindset. And you're internationally recognized as Dr. Enolia Harris Pedro, and you're
Mhm.
an award-winning keynote speaker, author. We've got 4 books right here, folks, that you can grab, and they'll help you along the way. We're going to talk about those. You're a global influencer, you're a coach, CEO of Enola LLC and Wombology, Director of Operations for Vision Africa Development. You're dedicated to youth advocacy, women's empowerment, contributing to Africa, and you hold a doctorate in international peace ambassadorship from the United Nations and an ambassadorship for human rights from the World Assembly of Peace. I think you're rather busy, girl.
You know, when you're just putting your head down and doing the work, you don't think about it,
No,
you know,
not when
and
you love it.
you just
No.
do it, you know, it's like, okay, what's on my to-do list today?
Yeah,
Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to meet with this person. I'm meeting with this group. I'm going to speak here. I'm going to, you know, submit this here, 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 here. And you just do what your heart calls you to do. And
yes.
so, you know, I've always wanted to work with people. I want to qualify grandmother so that people understand. Grandmother, not meaning maternal grandmother.
Right.
I want to make sure that that's clear. Grandmother, meaning that I am an initiated Ojibwe grandmother. That means I worked with an elder, a
Mm,
grandmother, a medicine woman. That's what grandmother means. It means medicine woman. Okay. And I have gone through the apprenticeship and everything that it takes to be an initiated grandmother. Okay.
mm,
So now I am an initiated grandmother on peer with the elder that shared and taught me, and then, you know, I in turn teach. So, you know, to take that as my foundation and just do the work that needs to be done. And so when you're an initiated grandmother, you have a community.
mm.
But when I did it, my community ended up being the world, right? So when
Yeah.
my grandmother elder asked me, okay, so who is your community? You know, what community are you working with? And I said, well, do you want me to tell you about the one in Nepal or the one in India or the one in California or the one in New York or the one,
Yeah.
you know, everywhere that I wanted to go, and the one in the UK or whatever the case may be. I've done work in New Zealand, in Australia. My community really is the world. So I'm a world practitioner, you
Hmm.
know. And so right now I'm coming to you from the US, but typically the last 2 weeks, two
Yes.
weeks ago and a week ago, I was talking to you from Angola, Africa.
Right.
So here we go. You know, I traversed
Have
and
suitcase will travel.
have suitcases will travel. And what does that mean? That means that the workshops, that means that the conversations and the teachings and the retreats, I'm the world traveler.
Mm,
I also work with people virtually, okay? And then so we can do one-on-one coachings. And also I do group coachings. And the group coachings are with my certified instructors. So in that respect too, I also offer a certification in what I teach. So
mhm,
let's talk about a couple of the master classes that I hold. I work with my main master classes, Empower, Achieve, Succeed through Self-Mastery. Okay. And it is accompanied by my book, The 7 Principles of Self-Mastery. And what we do is we go to the lower foundation that everybody has, and we deal with you doing your work at
mhm.
that level of foundation. You can be the greatest CEO you want to be, but if you're afraid to make decisions, if you don't trust yourself, well, why haven't you taken the time to do the work, to go to those pain points and understand why you don't trust yourself, or
Yeah.
why you're not capable of making decisions, or why you feel insecure? Okay. It is the ability to strengthen and
Mm,
master your own foundation so that you
mm.
can build the CEO, the entrepreneur, the teacher, the sky rock
Influencer,
influencer,
Yes,
whatever it is
yes,
that you want
yes.
to do. We have to address the foundation, and many people don't address the foundation. All
Hmm.
right. And they'll tell you beautiful, inspirational things, but they don't tell you, how do I get to that place of
Yeah,
inspiration? What
yeah.
do I have to do to traverse to get to that place of inspiration? And what tools do I use? Where are these tools? And how do I use these tools? Well,
Hmm.
in our program, first of all, everything you need to do is within you. We do not look for anything outside of ourselves in
Mm,
order to do that conscious transformation. So I work with you either one on one, or if you, again, attend as a group, myself along with my certified instructors will work with you. And we take you through the process and you do the work.
mhm.
Okay. And so that's the beauty about it. And that's the EAS program, or the Empower, Achieve, Succeed program. And then if you've gone and you've done the work and it really calls on you, which has for all of my instructors, they actually pursued and continued on and then became certified in the very methodology that helped and assisted them
Yeah.
in that conscious transformation.
Passing on the
So,
wisdom. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So I'm really excited about that. And we're going to be offering a group session that's going to be coming up towards the middle or end of October. Actually, the middle or end of November, not October, November. So that'll be after the retreats. And so I'm going to shift gears and I'll talk a little bit about the retreats that I hold. So I hold two types of retreats. One is typically for the growth retreat and the conscious transformation. I'll be in Rishikesh in India towards November 1st. And that sometimes I team up with other individuals. I'll be teamed up with a gentleman named Devesh Shrikizun, and we bring our two different perspectives. So me from a
Hmm.
shamanic practitioner perspective and him from a Hindu perspective.
Hmm.
And we take you on a journey. And it's beautiful that two modalities can come together
Yes.
and take you on a journey that allows you that conscious transformation from two different directions that you get to embody as one.
Two
So
different
that
instruments. Yeah.
it's lovely. It
Yeah.
really, really is. And we've worked together and the results have been
Hmm.
phenomenal.
Hmm.
So I'm really excited about that. And I do hold retreats with various individuals where I partner all the time. And the other retreat that I have coming up very quickly is actually not a retreat, it's an expedition. I'm taking a group to Egypt. And in Egypt, we're going to start off in Cairo, and then we will tour around Cairo. We'll go to the Giza pyramids, and we'll actually have a special showing within the Giza pyramids.
Mm.
Then we fly over to Aswan, and there we will tour around Aswan, and then we get on a Nile cruise and go up the Nile towards Luxor, stopping at Hathor's Temple of Isis. We will stop at the Nubian village and all of the different temples along the way. And then we get to Luxor and we'll visit and tour Karnak, the Bint pyramids, etc. And from there, we fly back to Cairo and then we finish up our touring right there. And then we disperse. So it's a 10-day expedition. We will be doing ceremony. It is not for touring for the tourist, not
Right.
a tourist move. It
Yes.
is a
Yeah.
spiritual journey, and we call it
Awakening.
pilgrimage of light. Yes.
Hmm.
And so those are the kind of activities in terms of that. And then other activities I do because I come from the indigenous teachings and I embrace many indigenous cultures. I teach you how to create a drum and ceremony. So I do a make your
Mm.
own drum
Mm.
ceremony. And I just finished doing that in California about a month ago now. So that was wonderful. And I also did a workshop in Kentucky also along those lines. So when you contact me, you share what you want your group to have, and we create or I create
Hmm.
what it is, whether it's based on empowerment or based on indigenous teachings or it's based on shamanic teachings
Yeah.
of what you want to do. So that gives you a feel for some of the work along with the mentorship programs that I actually do online. Okay. And
Yes.
so in working with the mentors and working with me as a mentor, because I have my bachelor's degree is in mathematics and my master's degree is in business, we can talk about your business startup. We can talk
Yeah.
about grooming and cultivating and your startup dream. Dream a beautiful dream or you will be dreamt. Well, okay, here's my dream. Where do I begin? How do I frame it up? How do I get started? How do I initiate it? I work with you all of that. How do I set the goals, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
And how do I
So,
not lose myself
in
in the expectation, outward expectation, but how do I bring the true essence of who I am
right,
and bring this into a business that is authentic to the very core of who I am?
exactly, exactly.
Because we
So,
don't want you to lose yourself in business. We want you to expand yourself into business, bringing all that you are.
and you actually will do
Hmm.
that, because everything we need to do in a balanced way.
Yes.
Yes. So that those are the parts and the pieces that are always moving and kind of juggling and working with individuals.
She does nothing, folks. She just sits around all day. And you know, in the last show, we talked about your books and all of them and how they work along with the courses and, you know,
Yes.
how people can even like start with the books, which please go back and listen to that show, which again, you will find on Dr. Enolia on theorchardofwisdom.org and of course on self-discoverywisdom.com. And we, you know, we're talking about the ancient wisdom and now and how the books can help you and everything that it can do. Because, yes, she's just talked about an awful lot that she's doing. So, like, maybe start off by listening some of the shows, not only her own, but some of the other. Start feeling. This isn't about doing, it's about being. She's
Feeling. It's
doing a
about
lot, but
being.
she's being a lot in what she's doing. That's the difference,
Well,
right?
being or in the doing sometimes means sitting back and listening.
Yes.
And that's the difference. I do a podcast, but what I do is I do a lot of listening to what people have to say. And I go, oh my goodness, they've just touched my heart. They
Yes.
inspired me. And what I do, I saw you, Sarah, and I'm like, Sarah, we haven't gotten together in a while. Please
Yeah.
come
Yeah.
talk on our show. Let's just have a conversation.
Yes.
Let's have a conversation, a heart to heart conversation.
There's no agenda other than
No.
the sharing of enlightenment.
Yes. And that's not work. And when you're
No,
doing what you love,
it's
then
never
it's a
work.
natural extension and then it's not work.
And there's always the nitty gritty in any form of business if you've got of the certain
Yeah.
administrative and structure that you need, and you need to set that in place so it doesn't become, you know, the focus. You've got it set up in place and the mindset of what you need to do there so that the beautiful essence of what you are here to do, the gift of who you are, can really get out there and, you know,
Exactly.
benefit everyone else. So a lot of people feel when they're in this type of world, um, you know, business and money, it feels so yucky compared to the enrichment and the abundance of my heart, soul, and spirit. But we need you to step into business so that you can help other people with your gift, with your instrument, in a way that's going to help them, like what you've done. You
Yeah.
ignited heart and souls, and they became so ignited, they now want to share it with other people, right? So they're going to take
Exactly.
what it is, your program, but they'll bring the essence of who they are into that program and they will ignite other souls. That ripple effect, you know, but please do not ever sell yourself short. And this is the kind of business we're talking about. Started a radio station. She's got all these touring events. She coaches people into becoming coaches by their own enlightenment.
And I
You
want to
know,
share something about the radio station too, because I actually didn't just start the radio station where I was working with someone else. And, I won't share with who that someone else was, but I was working with someone else. And what happened is that partway through that startup, we were misaligned.
yeah.
And I'm sitting there and I'm going to Spirit, okay, Spirit, why did you have me do this? And
Hmm.
then Spirit basically said back to me through me, is like, why are you doing it for someone else?
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
light bulb on.
Yes, yes,
I was
yes.
supposed to do it, but instead of giving all of my work away, I was
Hmm.
supposed to do it for myself.
Yeah.
And that was the lesson. And so the lesson was, I asked everyone, please hold back, let me regroup, acquired the radio station,
Hmm.
acquired learning how to program, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and then invited all of those that I had initially started with back to something that I could provide. And it feels so good to do it for myself.
I hear you, sister.
And so
Yes.
one of the things that people should just be aware of is that sometimes we feel that we're helping and we're assisting, or you're being called on by someone else, and if it doesn't align, then
Yeah.
just step back and say, is this what I love?
Yeah.
Number one. And if it is what I love, then why aren't you doing it for yourself?
If there's any angst there, like you know, conflict, or you haven't got the same vision, or people not participating in the same level, then all it was to do was to ignite you on the right path, but not necessarily be walking hand in hand,
Right.
right?
Right. Right. And we have to trust ourselves, trust
Hmm.
our instincts, believe in ourselves enough to divert that skill set and learn what you need to learn, because I had to come up a learning curve quickly
Yeah.
until I can get somebody else to come back behind me and work on what needed to be done alongside with me. But in terms of that, it was beautiful. It was, to me, it was a beautiful lesson unveiled. And
But you
so,
were creating your own orchestra and you
yes,
were inviting those players that would come together each individually in their own strength with their own beautiful instrument, but in harmony,
In
complementary.
harmony, not in question, not
Yeah,
in, it's not in a scenario that is so structured that there's no room to breathe.
exactly.
Yeah.
Now, the structure is meant to support the
And if it
expansion.
doesn't support and it
Yeah,
goes beyond that and it goes beyond that which you envision, then don't be afraid to say no. And that's exactly what I did. Nope,
yeah.
nope, this doesn't align for me. Nope, this doesn't work for me. Okay, you know what? If this doesn't align and this doesn't work, I need to be doing it myself.
Exactly. And, maybe it was let's do it together and then realize, okay, we've got two different visions. You go your way, I go
I
my
go
way,
on,
no
and that's
animosity. But what
okay.
it did is it
That's
sparked the
okay.
ignition, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And, this is the thing with people. As I said, I used to have hosts for a number of years. It's a lot of work having hosts, as you know. So,
It is a
and
lot of
your
work.
sister,
It
right?
is.
And
Yes.
then kind of, when COVID came about, people kind of dropped off for different reasons. And I decided not to do that anymore and go out into podcast books and the mentorship directory and just concentrate on the shows, which mean so much to me. And it's like sometimes it's like you've got to hear what's being said to you. The
Yes.
old, universal nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Otherwise, it's the cosmic two by four. And you want
Yes.
to avoid the cosmic two by four. So pay attention to those signs. They're there for a reason.
Exactly, exactly. So, it's a beautiful journey to travel and then to be able to share these experiences and to be able to mentor people who haven't experienced these things yet, are coming out of the starting gate and don't know what to expect to encounter. Having that experience and being able to share that experience is invaluable.
Invaluable.
It's invaluable
Yeah,
not to have made the same mistakes that many people
exactly.
have made over and over again, and to be coached such that okay, this is how I
Mhm.
navigate this particular situation or story.
We're avoiding the Grand Canyon for you. You're just going to have potholes, but no Grand Canyon, right? That's because we did it for you. Okay. So you don't
Right.
have to do it. And the thing is this, how many people have taken a soul awakening journey, part of their healing, whether it's an emotional, physical, or spiritual healing, and they go like, but this means so much to me. I don't know what to do with it now.
Yes.
All right. And now it's like, oh, here is a platform that can help me now do something with this beyond just it helping me. But,
Yes.
whether a person is starting out in the middle, gone there, or now I really want to do something with it, but I don't know what or where or how, right?
Yes.
That's you're there for that guidance. And that's what this is
Yeah.
all about. So,
And then
the
the beauty
practitioner of
that
the energy and the mentorship of helping people through the
yeah,
radio and through the work that you do is you're covering anybody, whatever stage they're at.
right. And then the energy work that is also done. So the thing that separates my coaching is that when we're halfway through the program, I actually do energy session on the people that I'm working with.
Hmm.
It's optional; they don't have to do it. But the beauty about doing it is that when you unveil and all of that energy bubbles up from the past and the traumas
Yes,
and everything
yes.
else, you know, you don't know about clearing. Whereas that's what needs to take place. It's a
Yeah.
clearing. It's a letting go. It's helping you to release that energy that was held, that kept the trauma going, that gave you that anxiety, that gave you that fear. And
Hmm.
it's not a fix it, but it's a clearing of your energy so that you have the ability to have a clean mythic map, a clean
But,
mythic map that
an
allows.
analogy is this. You've decided you're going to get rid of the old furniture, bad memories, not comfortable, lumpy evermore, but you don't bring the new furniture into a dirty house.
You sure don't.
Right? You've got to
Yeah.
clean everything up, maybe spruce of paint, everything staged, ready for that new furniture and for those new beginnings and new experience with that. It's
Yeah.
exactly that. If you don't clear that energy, the old energy will start contaminating. So you need to spring clean it out, clear it all out. And even when it does show its face now and again, you have the abundance of energy to face it and go, you're just a memory, or you're here to remind me of something. Maybe I was looking at going down the same road and that's all you're there for. But if you don't clear it, it can come back out to grab you without you realizing it. So it's very essential that you do clear your energy so that your energy is riding with you and not going to ride up against you.
Exactly, exactly. So I do that within the coaching sessions, and I also do shamanic sessions outside of it. And that includes, whatever is needed. So if we have to work with your lineage, if we have to work with attachments, if we have to work with heart retrievals, where you feel that your heart's been fragmented because you went through a trauma so overwhelming, so all of that, we just evaluate what's needed and where you're at, and then I can work accordingly in person or basically online. And then the other piece of that, along with the shamanic work, is that if you have a special situation where I need to be called upon, you can speak with me, and I do house clearings, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm,
And I work with people, and I work with some serious cases sometimes.
good,
So yeah,
good. I mean, it is very, very rare, folks, that we get somebody, that is doing all of this. Generally, they've got one platform, and that's what we're talking about in the mentorship program. Here we have somebody who's been gifted so much that the very core of her and the very root of her is constantly growing. Her
yeah,
tree is very rooted, her trunk is very strong, but her branches are always branching out, but they're all part of the same core. They're all part of the same rooting. And so all of this branching out is just expanding the voice, expanding the choir of the orchestra, and allowing other people to be the fruit on that branch. Right?
and when you know yourself and you really know thyself, like I know myself,
Mm-hmm.
and me at the core, I am a generalist. I am
Mm,
or I like to even say a universalist, in the
yeah.
respect that I like to know a little bit about everything. I may not call
Yes.
myself an expert in any one thing, but what I know well. I take my time. I'm a lifelong studier and a lifelong learner, but you will not find me just I look at I look at myself, and I have mathematics, and I'm a geometer. I love working with fractal geometry, and I love drawing geometry, and sacred
Yeah.
geometry, et cetera, et
Yes.
cetera. But I can't just do that. I
Right.
love
No, I
working with
mean,
them.
basically,
Yeah.
the chef in the kitchen, you're not a one spice girl.
No, I'm
You're
not.
also experimenting with spices, which one goes with this, which one goes with that. And gosh, oh, this one can take a lot of spices. Yummy. And that's the thing. So many people become complacent or sit where they're at. And they don't, can't be bothered, or I don't want to follow through. It's too much effort. And we have to understand we're fluid creatures. We're constantly meant to be in flow. We are
Right,
here to constantly learn and grow right to the day we exit this body, right?
right.
And it's not about sitting complacent, right? You may have retired. I wouldn't know what that word is. But even in your retirement, it's now time to explore things that you couldn't do before. So
Exactly.
don't sit on your laurels. There is always something inviting you to know. Be wondrous, be exploratory. And what else can you still partake and be a part of in life?
Exactly. And then I've learned from many people, and I don't credit the skills that I have from just like, oh, I studied in this
Yeah.
program. No, I thank the many indigenous teachers that I had, the grandmother that I had that is Ojibwe, my grandmother who's Lakota, my grandmother who is Apache, my grandmother who is Mapuche, my grandmother who is Waiataha, all the way
Mm,
down to the Sangomas in South Africa, and being initiated with the Ovimbundu, and also
mm,
with the Quiros Indians of Peru. So the indigenous teachings that I had all over all feed that which
yes,
is called me, Enolia, or grandmother Enolia.
right.
So I cherish those things. And so those teachings, that wisdom comes through the programs that I do. And
Exactly.
that I honor my elders, and that I honor those who taught me.
I mean, hence the name Wombology. Everything comes from the womb. Life comes from the womb, but so does nourishment. All the DNA, all the history, all the wisdom is actually in that womb, waiting to be born. And uh, and and who knows what those possibilities are until you're willing to partake in a few of those spices in life and really do it. So you can start off by listening to the radio station and getting some wisdom and nourishment there. You can read her books and go, okay, this has really sparked. I want to take this course, or I really like the sound of that retreat, or learning about this and learning about that. But all of it requires you to participate
Yeah,
in your journey. What she's just done is given you so many different platforms in which to participate in, right? And that's the thing. You're invited to this party and that party. You don't have to go to every one of them, Or you can, but that, you can start off with one at a time.
Right.
Nobody's expecting you to know how to dance the tango and the cha-cha-cha or this or that. You may just be a waltzer. Who cares?
That's
Right? It's the whole point is start immersing yourself in discovery. This is called self-discovery wisdom because the wisdom is always waiting for us to discover. And the more we make a discovery about ourselves, the more we realize our accessibility to wisdom, where to find it, what to do with it, why it's so important that what's given to us and what we're meant, who we're meant to help along with it. Because it's all about our participation, our contribution, our service to one another. And the
yeah.
more we become, the more we have more to give.
Absolutely, absolutely. It couldn't have been more well stated than that. You know, I welcome everyone. My books are there. I have Discovering My Sovereign Voice with My Grandmother Elder, which is my journey so that you can learn from my mistakes and learn about my journey and how I came to start this path. And then I have Discover Your Sovereign Self. And that is the comparable workbook where I basically summarize the lessons learned per chapter in the first book and then share with you the questions that you should be asking yourself so that you can stimulate that thought process and start self-reflecting on what your journey is. And then I give you an affirmation after each chapter. Then I have the 7 principles of self-mastery, and that goes hand in hand with my program, EAS, or Empower, Achieve, Succeed through Self-Mastery. And then you learn the principles and the stories that led up to those principles with each one of the indigenous teachers that I learned from. And
Mm,
so that, along with Know Thyself, a 30-day program to self-awareness. So I wrote a book, and you can do it day by day. You can read the book by itself, or you can do the book with the videos. There's 30 videos, and you can sign up for the program. And what it is that you read and unpack something every day for 30 days.
hmm.
And that affords you the opportunity to just really start that self-awareness path. So people go, where do I begin? Where do I begin? You
Yeah.
begin by
Not
looking in
where,
the
also
mirror.
how,
How do
right?
I begin?
You've
Where
given
do
them
I
a
begin?
where and a how. All they
How?
need to do is put their foot forward. That's it.
Exactly. How do I
So,
begin? You
yeah,
begin by knowing thyself and start questioning and looking in the mirror and start to love what you see.
yeah,
Okay. Or truly, truly embrace what you see. If you already
exactly.
do, that's wonderful. Embrace it in its fullness, in its totality. And then ask yourself the tough questions and get comfortable with that.
Yeah,
And inventory, know how you think, know how you are, know what aspect of your personality leads you through your life, and are you happy with it?
right.
You know, so there's so many things that we can embrace that, again, I didn't name anything that's outside of ourselves, but
And
all
that that's the that I was about to say, that the more and more you embrace from the inside out, the more and more you realize how much the outside has influenced you and how it has been the stump of your growth. And
yes,
the more and more you let go of the outside, the more and more you let the inside grow and become inquiring and take that journey of self-discovery. And the more you actually understand who you are, why you are, what you're here to do, and where to do it, and how to do it. Right.
exactly.
So it's again though participation. Both you and I have laid the path for people in one way or the other. If you don't participate, nothing's going to happen.
That's
And
right.
always say, take the leap, blind, deaf, and dumb, in order to hear, see, and feel.
That's
Trust, allow, just move forward. The shows, the books, the reaching out and go, I'm at this stage, don't know where to go next. All of that, it's just participation and
participate.
allow yourself to just this is no like, oh, at the end of the month I've got to be here. No, right? You've done this 30-day thing. Maybe now you just need to sit and savor and participate and feel what it is you're
Well,
feeling.
the 30-day prepares you for then the Empower, Achieve, Succeed, Self-Mastery. So now
Mm,
you're ready. Now you know
yes,
the type of
yes.
inquiry that's going to take place. Now you have prepared yourself and started asking yourself the harder questions so that you can peel the layers of the onion back little by little by little. So all of this, everything that we discussed is found on my website,
Right.
enolia.live. And even the link to Wombology is on enolia.live. So if you go to my name, Enolia.live, you will be able to embark on in the world that's been created and waiting for you.
So Wombology World, where you can have the radio station, and as it said, it's like every day there's somebody else that comes up, and there will be shows archived if you can't listen on that particular day. And then you've also got Enolia Live, Enolia.live. You've also got Love. Infinite Possibilities on Facebook. You've got LinkedIn, Dr. Enolia. Uh, you go for a different name on the on.
Well, the LinkedIn is my married name was Foti, Foti, and it says Harris Pedro in parentheses because if I changed it, then I lose everybody that I was connected with.
I know. I don't
So
know why they
yeah,
don't. Yeah, I know.
I don't
It's
know
like
why they
such a
do that.
pain. I know.
So
It's a pain that.
I because I just recently got married, it's still going through a name change, but it's Enolia Harris Pedro. My former name, Dr. Enolia Foti. It's still me.
Right, still not. Put Dr. Enolia in and you'll find her. Instagram, Enolia Empowers. And then YouTube, Enolia Energy, and another YouTube, The Infinite Way with Enolia. And of course, as I said, just come to selfdiscoverywisdom.com and put in Dr. Enolia, and the same with the orchardofwisdom.org, the mentorship page. She is there. All the shows that we've done together, and we've done quite a number of them now, each one of them covering something different, but it's all coming from the core. And I
Yeah,
invite you to go back and listen to them because you never know what you need to hear right now that's going to ignite your heart and soul into action.
absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
wonderful having you back here again. I'm very honored to be a part of your platform on
We're
Wombology
very honored to
too.
have you as part of the platform. Beautiful, powerful voice, amplifying across the world. We love it.
I've got some great people like yourself on here. And of course, here you will find her banner to Wombology Radio under the podcast tag where all the show genres are. So you'll be able to click right there and see who's on today. And again, you can also find a way of listening to the other people and hear about them because I'm sure you've got profiles on the people with the
Oh, yes.
shows as well.
Yes,
So,
every show, if you click in the description, their bios, everything, how to connect with them, the
mhm,
information that they left, and how to contact them. Because it's not about just amplifying my voice, it's about amplifying voices
yeah,
across the world. There's room for all of us.
right.
And that's the one thing that we have to learn.
Yes, absolutely. So whether you want to just do a show yourself on what you know and how you want to share it, whether you want to interview people, whether you've done a fantastic something that you want to share, as you said, the monologue, or maybe you want to be a guest and don't know how to reach out or what that step is, it's all there. And then the books and then the teachings. I mean, one-stop shopping, folks.
Or engage me, speak with me.
Yes,
If you feel drawn and if you feel called and you are comfortable with that, I do respond to everybody that inquires. So please do. It's okay. And I can be reached at info@enolia.live.
there you go. Right. So if you've, even like you've listened to this today, you've listened to the shows and go, I'm engaged. Where do I go? What do I press? Where do I start? I said, start with the show, start with the book, start with listening to the shows we've done. Something will stand out that will say, this is your starting point.
Exactly.
Right. But again, you've got to participate in your own healing and your own journey and your own self discovery in becoming that beautiful essence being of empowerment for someone else, because that's what it's all about. Thank you so much for sharing here today and joining our mentorship directory program and also joining us here with your radio station on self discovery wisdom. So thank you.
Thank you.
Until next time, folks, remember between us, my God, have we got an absolute heaven's worth of wisdom for you. There ain't any excuses, folks. You can listen on her side, you can listen on my side. There's so much there for you to learn. It's just listen, learn, and apply. So until next time, bye for now. We hope that you enjoyed the show. There are so many more for you here on selfdiscoverywisdom.com. Just go to the podcast tag at the top there and you will see all the many genres and all 3,000 shows ready for your listening. We are here to serve you, to help you on your journey of life, and we know that through inspiration it begets invitation. We are supported by you, the listeners, and those that we interview. Anything that you can spare us in donation would be greatly accepted, and we do hope that you enjoy the next show.